We have now explored most of the handy features in Overleaf. For your first assignment, I would like you to create a new project. We will use this particular project for all assignments throughout the course. Let's now create a Hello World document. In this, we will explore the basic structure of LaTeX. To create a new .tex file, we will click on New File. Let's call this hello underscore world. We have an empty file here. The objective here is to create a minimal working .tex file. The first command in any text file is the document class command. All LaTeX commands start with backslash. So backslash document class is our command name. To this, we need to give an input. Now let's first understand what this command does. Document class tells LaTeX what type of document you are creating. There are a bunch of options as you can see in the drop-down. For now, let's go ahead and say article. Article is a general purpose document class. It is basically used for writing scientific journals, reports, any miscellaneous purpose really. Now, based on the document class that we select, two things get affected. The first is the appearance of your output PDF. The second are the LaTeX commands that are available to us. We will look into document class in detail later in this video. For now, note that it needs to be the first line in the LaTeX file, and the second is that it dictates the appearance and the commands that are given to us. The second command that we'll be looking into is \begin document, and the third command being the end document. The begin and the end document together define the document environment. So that's the space here is the document environment. And note that only the content that you place in the document environment will be rendered in your output PDF. The region between the document class and the begin document is called the preamble. Note that the three commands, document class, begin document, and end document, are needed to create a minimal working .tex file. Now we have the commands in place. Let's go ahead and click on recompile. Even though we currently have all the bare minimum commands that are needed in place, if I hit compile, I get an error. Alright, let's just disable stop on first error for now and then compile again. We get one of the reasons that there was an error implies an output PDF was not produced is because the document environment contains no content. If it's empty, please add some content and compile again. As you can see, we have no content in our document environment. Let's go ahead and write the customary hello world. Now let's recompile. You can see hello world in our output document. Let's add another line. This is my first LaTeX document. Compile again. As you can see, a line just got added. You can add more content, play around with it, and see how it gets displayed in the output PDF. Now that the content that we're adding is getting displayed in the output PDF, what I would like to do is, I want to add Hello World as the title. Basically, I want something like this. Hello World as the title, and then the rest of the text. In order to do this, let's head to the preamble. We can tell LaTeX what the title of a document is using the title command. \title, open curly bracket, close curly bracket. Note the syntax here. Backslash basically tells LaTeX whatever starts off is a command, title is the command name, and within this curly brackets we will mention the title of a document. Many LaTeX commands follow this syntax. Backslash command name, open curly brackets, close curly brackets, and here we will write the input arguments. So in our case, we have backslash title, and our input argument is the title to our command, which is HelloWorld. Now we would like the title to be HelloWorld. So that's what we will give as input to the title command. We will have a lot of commands in LaTeX, but most of them have very self-explanatory names. Let's go ahead and remove Hello World from here. Compile. Let me zoom this in so you can see it clearly. So we just have, this is my LaTeX document. Where did my Hello World go here? Right? I am specifying it as my title, but it is not being displayed in my output PDF. Remember what I had discussed earlier? Only the content that goes in the document environment will be displayed in the output PDF. The title command is in the preamble, so I need a way to tell LaTeX I want my title to be displayed in the PDF. So let's go to our document environment and say backslash make title. Make title is my command, but I'm not using any curly brackets here. So I'm not giving it any inputs. It is therefore possible to have commands without any input arguments. Hit recompile. Let me zoom out a bit. We now have Hello World as a title. Note how the font size justification of the text is automatically taken care by LaTeX because we specified Hello World as our title. We didn't have to explicitly set any of these. Apart from displaying the title, make title also display the date. This is the current date at the time of recompile. If you do not want the date, we can suppress it. Backslash date. So we will leave the input arguments to be blank. Hit recompile. Now the date is gone. You also have the option to give out custom dates. So I can say 19th August 2022. Recompile. And there we have it. You can give the date here to be of any format. It is entirely up to you. You can use the date command to again display the current date at the time of recompile by using the today command. When I hit recompile, it displays me the current date. Let's try to understand what's happening here. Backslash date, open curly brackets, backslash today. When you have this kind of command nesting, there is a command being used inside another command, what I would suggest is to start with the innermost curly brackets. So let's start with backslash today. This gives the current date at the time of recompile, which happens to be September 29, 2023. This original command now translates to backslash date of September 29, 2023. Title check, date check. Next step, I would like to add the author's name. I want my name, Apoorva, to be displayed between the title and the date. So let's go ahead and do that. Heading to the preamble, I'm going to say backslash author and put in Apoorva. Hit compile. There you have it. The author name is now displayed between the title and the date. Note that whatever input is given to the author command is again displayed in the PDF thanks to make title command. So make title is in charge of displaying title, date, as well as author. All you have to do is use the corresponding commands in the preamble and just use make title in the document environment. The next step I want to do is add more information to the author. I would like to display the author email ID just below the name, like abc@gmail.com. Anything that is related to author goes inside the author command. So let's head back to line 7. I'm just going to move the name to the next line. New lines in LaTeX does not have any meaning. So if I compile it like this, it does not change the way my document looks. So what I would want to do is, if I just write Apoorva space abc@gmail.com, I have both the author name and email ID in the same line. I don't want this. I want the email ID to be in the next line. If we had to do it in Word or anything as that, we would just press enter. Okay, that adds a new line and we'll recompile. Nothing happened. So in order to tell LaTeX, hey, whatever information comes next, I want you to create a new line and then add the information there. What I will do is I will go to the end of the author name, that is in line 8, and put double backslash. There you have it, abc@gmail.com. So the email address is now in a line of its own. If I want to put more information, say a phone number, and I would want the phone number to be displayed in a line of its own, then I would do again double backslash, compile. Perfect. Now let's take this further. Let's add in another author name. Basically, what I would want is, I have two authors, say Apoorva and Miss XYZ, and then I want their emails and the phone numbers displayed. Something like this. So I want the two authors in two different columns and their information nicely centered in their particular columns, something like that. Now, I already have the first author's information in place. Now, I want to tell LaTeX when the second author information starts. To do that, I'll use the command \and then I will type in the second author information. Let's just type in the name. The second author's name is XYZ. Compile. There you have it. There is some respectable distance between the two names, implying that the second name is in a column of its own. Let's go ahead and add the second author's other information like email. I want to tell LaTeX that the author's email ID must be in the next line. That's why end it with double backslash xyz@gmail.com. Next, the phone number, double backslash because it needs a line of its own. Recompile. If I had to do this in Word, I would have to take care of all this formatting by myself. You would probably use a table, make the border of the table invisible, adjust the position of the table, so on and so forth. However, in LaTeX, using just a couple of commands, we were able to achieve such good typesetting. We now have added title, the date, and multiple authors. You can go ahead and add other authors as well, and not all authors need to have the same information. So try to experiment with different combinations of the same.